Concussions are one of the most frequent injuries many NFL players face today. Given the nature of football, it is very easy to see how such a brutal game can produce so many concussions. The frequency of concussions and player safety in general is a hot topic in the NFL today, and many NFL players are retiring early, such as superstars Calvin Johnson and Patrick Willis, both of whom were under 30 years of age.
Took a shot right to the head and just collapsed.
One of the concussions that was reported last season was of Jake Elliott, a rookie kicker for the Philadelphia Eagles. Jake Elliott had a great rookie season, making 26 of his 31 field goal attempts, with the longest being 61 yards against the Giants in Week 3 of the NFL season. However, in Week 11 of the season against the Dallas Cowboys, Jake Elliott sustained a head injury that was later diagnosed to be a concussion.
This should be an exciting one from Texas. The 2-yard line. To midfield. Still going, and finally the kicker is able to knock him down at the 35-yard line. It was Jake Elliott who saves the day, and that's the way it starts for the Dallas Cowboys.
A concussion is a type of traumatic brain injury caused by a blow to the head or by a hit to the body that causes the head and brain to move rapidly back and forth. The sudden movement can cause the brain to bounce around or twist in the skull, creating chemical changes in the brain and sometimes stretching and damaging brain cells. A common misconception is that concussions are only caused by a blow to the head. Any type of blow to the body can also cause a concussion. This was seen in the case of Jake Elliott. Although he was not directly hit in the head, because he was hit so hard, his head moved back and forth very rapidly, resulting in a concussion. If a player suffers from multiple concussions, they can get CTE. It is a progressive degenerative disease which afflicts the brain of a person who has suffered repeated concussions and traumatic brain injuries, such as athletes who take part in contact sports. Symptoms of CTE can be life-changing, like depression, loss of memory, or erratic behavior, and all of these can possibly lead to death. What's even more scary, that out of 111 deceased NFL players, 110 of them had CTE.
So now I'm going to be calculating the amount of force that Ryan Switzer hit Jake Elliott with. And to do that, we're going to use the equation mass times velocity equals force times time. So first we're going to multiply the mass and the velocity, 82.1 kilograms times 8.1 meters per second. And we're going to get 665.01 kilograms meters per second. So now we're going to divide by 0.2 seconds to find the total amount of force, and that's going to come out to 3,025.05 newtons, and that's equivalent to about 750 pounds of force right to the head.
If an NFL player suffers from a possible concussion in-game, they will be sent to their team physician for a neurological examination. This neurological examination measures if the NFL player has any sort of concussion symptoms, whether that be if they're disoriented, if they have a loss of consciousness, if they have some sort of blank or vacant look, if they have a loss of motor skills, or if they have a visible facial injury. If they pass any of these symptoms, or if they do not have any of them, they will be sent back to the game, but they will be closely monitored. If they do have these symptoms, they'll be immediately taken out of the game, and they will have to go through the NFL's concussion protocol. The first step in the NFL concussion protocol is to rest. Because there is no cure for a concussion, the best way a player can recover from one is to rest. The second step of the NFL concussion protocol is to go through light aerobic exercises, which is cardio, whether that is running on a treadmill or going on a bike. All this will be done under team, faculty, staff supervision to make sure everything is okay. The third step of the concussion protocol plan is to go through these light aerobic exercises as well as going through strength training. And the final step of the NFL concussion protocol is to go through some non-contact football drills, whether that is throwing the football, running, or catching. All of this will be done without any actual physical contact. After a player completes all these drills and all these steps, they are eligible to play next week in their next game, and they are cleared from the concussion protocol.
So we reached out to a very special guest, Dr. David Geyer, and we asked him a few questions. What should you do if you feel like you suffered a concussion on the field?
Get evaluated by somebody that's very well trained in concussions. On the field, let the athletic trainer or the team doctor or both examine you, but then potentially go get seen by maybe a neurologist that specializes in concussions.
Many concussions go unreported as athletes choose not to report these concussions and to play instead. So what are the risks of that?
That's very dangerous. If you suffer a second blow to the head before your brain has gotten back to normal, you can get what's called second impact syndrome, which is a much more serious brain injury. People can die from that, actually. So you've got to let somebody know so that you can be evaluated.
Thank you for your time, Dr. David Geyer.
Thank you for watching our video, and until next time, I'm Assad.
I'm Mo.
And I'm Hassan.
And this is Sports Science.